Here with Eric and Randy from the Guild Wars 2 team, and we're wondering, the world of online roleplay has changed since the release of Guild Wars 1. Free-to-play is now everywhere. How do you see Guild Wars 2 in that environment?
Well, so you guys probably know that with Guild Wars 1, we had essentially bought the game, and had no subscription fee. That was our first title for Reanet, and it was actually a huge deal for us to be able to kind of even innovate on the business model for people. We sold over 6 million copies of the game. Huge first game success. We've really decided that even though we are building a AAA, huge, majestic world, that we're actually going to stick with our free-to-play business model. I think our fans, our loyal fans, really appreciate that. So I think that's just really important for us to continue with a huge player base and take that approach to it.
So this is a very definite decision that is not going to change in the future.
Right. No subscription fee. Right.
But wouldn't it be more interesting to have a monthly fee to earn during the process?
It's something that any MMO company should be thinking about, whether or not subscription fees make sense or not. We think the power of our audience, we think the power of the number of fans that we have in the game, that the business model makes a lot of sense for us.
Eric, you are the lead game designer, and I think the Guild Wars 2 game is more focused on role-playing. Mm-hmm. Why have you changed that?
So we had a pretty heavy focus on story in Guild Wars 1, and we wanted to kind of take that to the next level. We felt that a lot of online role-playing games had kind of lost the role-playing part of the game, and so we really wanted to change that. And one of the primary things that we do is in most games you're kind of this nameless, faceless character with no history, no past, that sort of thing. And so we've created this character biography for you so that you can fill out some things about who you are as a character and really help role-playing. We also have a personality system that reflects how you treat NPCs in the game. If you run around being charming and to everyone, then it'll reflect that in your personality, and it'll open up some new options for you in the story. So we really want to support kind of that role-playing game feel. So.
And you have an open world now.
Yes. So Guild Wars 2 is fully persistent. That was one of the other things that we really wanted to change. And one of the things that we feel like is the way we do our open world with our event system and the way we share loot and experience between players. Our game is cooperative on a level that most MMOs aren't.
If we take a look at the Old Republic, the upcoming Star Wars game, they are saying that story is one of the most important things in an online role-playing game. What do you think about that?
I think we agree with that. I mean, I think one of the things in Guild Wars 1 was that we wanted to tell a really compelling story. And like I said, in Guild Wars 2, we really just want to kind of expand on that. We really want to tell not only a story, but a really personal story, a story where you get to make some choices, and then that will have an impact on what happens later in the story. And so we think it's very, very important. It's definitely one of the things we focus on.
Yeah. What will happen to Guild Wars 1 after you release the second part?
We have a lot of hardcore fans, a lot of people that, we still have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of players playing the game. And so we'll have to see. I mean, we certainly do hope that our players that join into Guild Wars 2 and that will happen organically. The thing is, though, again, with no subscription feed, players aren't tied to the game. Well, we're completely fine if people want to continue playing Guild Wars 1. That's great. We have a live team that supports the game today, and right now our plan is that we'll be supporting Guild Wars 1 even after Guild Wars 2 is out.
You will be able to play Guild Wars 2 offline as well. What kind of experience will this be for the player?
You actually won't be able to play Guild Wars 1 offline. No.
This is wrong.
Sure. You can solo through the game, and soloing in our game is a very different experience because you can actually... without grouping with other players, you can feel like you're having a cooperative experience and playing with other players. And then the other thing that we do to support kind of different size groups of players from solo to, multiple groups is a lot of our content will scale. And so what that does is it will detect, how many players are trying to participate in a piece of content, and it will scale that content up or down depending on how many players are participating. And so it's very, very possible for a single player to have a really good play experience, and it's very possible for a group of players to have a really good play experience. Yeah.
compared to Guild Wars 1, 250 years have passed in the timeline. What has changed in terms of culture, technology, and stuff?
So a lot has changed, actually. Yeah, one of the things that we wanted to do in moving the story ahead in 250 years, we really love our world, and we think of it as kind of a living, breathing entity in and of itself. And we didn't want it to be stagnant. We wanted it to reflect what has happened to the various races along the way, and we wanted them to make technological advances. And so I think a lot of people will see we've moved into an era where it's almost more Victorian. It's got a lot of technology, gun use with rifles and pistols and things like that is really prevalent. You see the Char pushing the boundaries, who are one of our technological races, pushing the boundaries of what is possible. They have the printing press and things like that. And so just like in our own world, the world of Tyria has made technological advances, and we try to reflect that in how the game plays.
And you have amazing graphics.
Oh, yeah.
I've walked by the booth and was amazed. What about the hardware requirements?
So we haven't released final hardware requirements yet, but one thing I can say, it's really, really important for us that a lot of people can play the game. And so we're going to have pretty low hardware requirements. In Guild Wars 1, I think when we released it, it could run on really, really low-end machines. Like I think a TNT 2 or something like that when it first released, and that was 5 years ago. And so we constantly develop actually on machines that are lower end, so that while we're playing the game and we're developing the game, we're constantly dealing with that. I mean, the video card that we're developing on right now is not even available for purchase anymore. You can't go to a store and buy them anymore, but the game will run on that. No, not quite that far back. Yeah. No, we didn't go that far back. But we want, it's very, very important to our business model and to us to broaden our audience, to make the game very accessible and to make it so a lot of people can play it. So you won't need a supercomputer to play it. You won't need super state of the art. So yeah.
So what are you going to do to keep the high-level players interested in Guild Wars 2?
So we haven't talked completely about what our endgame is like. We do have dungeons, which are more like the traditional endgame content that people are looking at, which is very tough, kind of group-oriented combat. We have a few twists on that, which we'll talk about at a later date. But then we also have where players are able to kind of adjust to the level of a friend. So if you have a friend that's a higher level character in the game, you can either go up to their level, or they can come down to your level and play, so that you can play together. And then what we do is, if a really high level player goes to an area and starts to kind of really trash the events in that area and starts to take place, what it'll do is it'll sidekick you down automatically so that you can experience that. So really, once you become max level, all of the game is open to you. So if I was a Char player and I experienced all the starting Char content, I could go and play the starting human experience that I maybe didn't get to play the first time around, and it will be at a level, I'll be very powerful for it, but it will be at a level where it still has a little bit of challenge and it can be fun, and it's played the way it's meant to. So our game really, really actually opens up when you get to higher levels.
Sounds good to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And good luck with Guild Wars 2. Thank you.